Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. So we are here with week 6 of the Inspiration Collaboration over on this Facebook page, Crafty Manipulators. So this week was Anything Goes, which means anything goes. You can make whatever you want it. So I stayed with the sandpaper collection as I did with almost all of my projects. And I made this cute little Hershey Nugget box. It's very cute. Very simple to make. I'm going to make one for you guys in just a second. But I did one of the carnation flowers that I make. This is with the 6-petal punch stacked, and I inked the edges with pink. I have a glitter heart right there with the word love on it, a bow, and this little banner piece, you and me. I think this came from one of the Michaels hotspots. I don't know, it was in my stash. And then some little hearts. And inside the Hershey Nuggets, I just wrapped them with the coordinating paper, and I added 2 little hearts from the punch, the owl builder punch. So let's go ahead and make one of the boxes. You're going to need a sheet of paper that is 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. So I have my piece right here. Let me just make sure that it is 5 1/4. So you can make 2 boxes out of 1 sheet of paper. This was originally Sam Donaldson, who is Poodle's Papercraft here on YouTube. She's a UK Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I love her. She's the box queen. And it was for this chocolate that you get in the UK for like Sweeties chocolate. And so Carol actually revamped it so that way it would fit the Hershey Nuggets. So that's who inspired me for this one. So what you need to do is cut your paper at 5 1/4 by 8 1/2. So basically it's just, you know, a little shorter than half of the sheet. Okay, so on the 8 1/2 side, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch, and you're going to flip it around and do 3/4 of an inch. So that's really 3/4 of an inch and 7 3/4. For me, it's just easier to flip it around. That's what most people do, but you can, you know, however you want to do it. You're going to flip it to the where the short side is on there, and you're going to go 3/4 and 2 1/4. Flip it around and do the same thing, 3/4 and 2 1/4. So if you really want the measurements, you're going to do 3/4, 2 1/4, 3 and 4 1/2. However it's easier for you to do, that's easier for me to do. Sorry, my camera's going to jump because it doesn't like the scoreboard. So again, if you like to do just the simple 3/4, 2 1/4, rotate it 3/4, 2 1/4, or you can do it at 3/4, 2 1/4, 3 and 4 1/2. Okay, there's just a lot of measurements to remember. If you do it the way I did it, you only have to remember essentially 2 measurements. Okay, I'll leave that up there. Hopefully, I don't know why my camera's jumping so much. Okay. So what we need to do, and let me grab a pencil. What we need to do is go ahead and cut up these score lines. I don't know if you guys can see them, but you're going to cut your score line here, 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 and here. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use big scissors. You can use smaller scissors, but you're just going to cut up the score lines like so. I can't really see. I turned the light down a little bit so my camera wasn't jumping. Now I can't see. Okay, so go ahead and flip it around and do the same thing on the bottom. Okay. So now what you need to do is we need to work on these 3 squares that are flipped up. Okay? Only the 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. We're going to go ahead and miter those, which means just take a little chunk off of them. Doesn't have to be a big chunk, just a little chunk, and only on the squares. The 3 little squares. That's it. Okay? Leave the other 2 alone. That's very important. Okay, so see how I left the 2 rectangles alone and only worked with the squares. Okay? And flip around, undo the same thing. You're only going to cut the 3 squares. That's it. And we're just taking a very small chunk out of all of them. I guess you don't have to. It's just easier. It's cut down in bulk. But you don't have to do that part. You don't want to? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and give our folds a good varnish, which all that means is use a tool and make your creases nice and crisp. If you don't have a bone folder, you can use like a credit card or hotel card or whatever you have. Okay, so we're just folding up on the score lines. Okay. And your little flaps, you want to go ahead and make sure they're, I mean, I guess you could do this part before you cut and miter and all that, but I didn't. And you see, it didn't matter. Okay. So, here we go. Okay. Now, if you want, you can use a small punch, like a 1-inch circle or a 1/2 inch circle, and you can make the little thumb grabber, like the part right here where you hold your thumb and you pick it up. It's up to you if you want to do that. I'll show you what it looks like. You just pick either side. It doesn't matter. And you're going to go about, it's less than halfway. You're going to go about 1/4 way in the middle and just punch out a little. Now you know that's your top. So what we need to do is go ahead and push in all of your squares and leave the rectangles out. Okay, like that. I'm going to use score tape. You can use glue, whatever you want. And I'm just going to put little pieces of score tape on the box. Okay, here we are. And here we are. So if you're making a bunch of these, it would probably be easier if you use score tape as opposed to liquid glue. When I made the other one, I just used liquid glue because I was only making one. So, and I wasn't in a rush or anything. So, you know, use liquid glue. Okay, so let's go ahead and do up the bottom first. So we're going to go ahead and take our tape off off the flaps. Make sure you don't have any overhang. And I'm going to go ahead and take them off the middle ones too because I'm comfortable with it. So if you're not comfortable with it, just take off the one side. And what you're going to do is line up the box together, as you can see, and just push it in. Okay, and we're going to do the other side. Push it in. And then your middle flaps are going to go in there as well. So just line up the sides of the box and line up the sides of the box, making sure it's straight, and pinch it in. So 2 flaps go on the bottom box. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this, and we still have our tape up there. So now we know that this box, this is the lid. I'm going to go ahead and fold this backwards so that way this box gets used to opening and closing. It's easier to do it now before you tape in the flaps. If you've already taped your flaps in, then it's fine. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and take our flaps off and stick it to the rectangle. And stick it to, see how I'm lining up the corners there, and then I just go inside and press it. That's easier for me. There might be other ways that's easier for you. Now your box is complete, and all you have to do is close it and you're good to go. And the sides stay down. You can add a belly band. In the video she had a belly band. I did not add a belly band. I just decorated the top. I cut mine a little bit weird, so my top is a little bit looser than this one is. See how nice and flat these flaps are? Mine kind of bulk out a little bit. It's because I didn't listen to don't cut the rectangles. And I cut a little bit of the rectangle, but it wasn't a big deal. So there you go. Now for the Hershey Nuggets themselves, what you're going to do is take a piece of cardstock that is 1 inch by 3 inches, and I used 1/4 inch score tape because it was faster. So you just put score tape on both ends, and then you just wrap it around, and that's it. And then I just punched out the 2 little hearts from the Owl Builder punch, and obviously you can use any decorations you want on there. So yeah, really simple box that you guys can make for any occasion, and that's my project. So just to recap, I will show you everything that I've made for this inspiration collaboration. I don't remember what order they go in, so I'm just going to put it all out here. That was week 5, I do know that. And I had an embellishment book, and I had some tags. Might have to zoom out a little bit. Let's see if it'll let me. There we go. Excuse my messy desk. And we had these boxes. I think these were week 1. There's packaging. And what else did I have? Oh yeah, my notebook holder. And then we had, I know we had more packaging. Here's my other packaging. So there you go. That's everything from this collaboration. I used the paper by Dovecraft, and I don't have that much of it left, but that's everything I made. Thanks for watching me, guys. Bye.